In this session, let's talk about the last and somehow the most important part of uh, the comprehensive ranking system, which is additional points. Okay, I say it's one of the most important is because what happens here is under this factor alone gives you 600 points, is capable of giving you 600 points. So you understand how massive is this. In the last year when Ircc was only doing PNP draws, this factor was kind of the most important factor of all of them, right? So let's talk about this, what comes under additional points and where you can score. So the first and the most popular mechanism of scoring these 600 points is getting a provincial nomination. What's a provincial nomination? In Canada, there are different provinces which can nominate a person based on his or her job experience, her kind of experience profile, for to work, to live and work in their province. There are few provinces which do that. BC does it, Alberta does it, Manitoba does it, Ontario does it, Nova Scotia does it. So there are a lot of provinces that do this provincial nomination. In short, it's called PNP. If you are able to secure a provincial nomination, you get 600 points, and that's end of the story as far as additional factor is concerned. You don't need to worry about anything else. Okay. So that's one of the most popular. The next most important popular is the job offer. If you have a job offer to work in Canada, okay, if you have, I'm not saying you need a job offer to be able to apply for PR. I have known people who have never let a foot in Canada, were just in India working for 5, 6, 7, 8 years. They applied from India, they got their PR. So, but if you have a job offer, it surely helps. You can get a maximum of 200 points. I would still say 200 points is highly unrealistic. There is a very small list of NOCs or the jobs in which you can get 200 points, but 50 points is more realistic. You can score minimum of 50, maximum of 200 points to if you have a job offer to work in Canada. So if a Canadian company gives you a job offer, golden, you get 50 points. Canadian education, if you have worked in Canada, if you have studied in Canada for more than for degree course which is more than 3 years, you can get up to 30 points. If the degree is less than 3 years, you get a lower point, but you can still get few points for your Canadian education. If your French proficiency is good, right, along with your English proficiency, you can get some additional points apart from the core factors that we discussed in the other presentation, in the earlier presentation. So if your French proficiency is good, your English proficiency is average, you can still get some additional points. If you have a sibling in Canada who is either a PR or a citizen, for yourself or spouse, you get another 15 points. Okay. Now again, here it's possible for a person to score more than 1000 points here, like more than 800 or 900 points here. Say you have a provincial nomination, you have a job offer for 200 points, you have studied in Canada you have done your masters in Canada, right? So easily you are looking at 830 points under this factor, but the score that would be added to your final score is only 600. So under this, no matter how much you score here, you get only 600 points. From my experience, I had a 600 point provincial nomination, and I had a job offer for 50 points, but I only got 600 points added to my final score. So this additional points can be a deal breaker in many scenarios. It had been in most of the part in 2021 and 2022. So this factor, additional factors should be kept in mind when you are planning for your CRS. when you are planning to apply for Canada PR and under your comprehensive ranking system, keep this factor in your mind. If for any chance you think that your score is low in the other three factors earlier, you can make more than this in this factor. Okay, so yeah, that's the additional